Hello, hello, hello. This is Chapter 5, Marketing Process and the Analysis of the Marketing Environment. Really key aspects that we'll be discussing now. And so we've talked thus far, we've discussed the marketing plan itself, a lot of the components of it. We've discussed the 4 Ps of marketing. We've also discussed different strategies. So we now will describe how we're going to analyze in greater detail the marketing environment, because it's very important if we're going into a market that we understand our competitors, our different strategies that are being utilized, and also our potential strategy. We can gauge how well and how effective it can be. So the marketing process, again, nothing more than a set of steps based on business planning. Typically, the marketing process is driven by the executives. A lot of the middle managers and lower level managers are not involved. It's like the C level, we call it the C-suite, the CEO, the CIO, the Chief Information Officer, the Chief Marketing Officer, CMO, could be the Chief Security Officer as well. Again, the C-suite. So those executives are setting the stage for the vision, the mission, and then it flows down to the rest of the people within the rest of the departments within the organization. But the key is that we have to have a plan for moving forward. And so the marketing process, again, is just a strategic process that high-level executives, they come together along with other stakeholders to devise strategies and, again, tactics to achieve those objectives. SWOT analysis. We'll talk more about this a little bit later, but the SWOT analysis is something that's used in a lot of organizations. It's kind of going out of favor now, but still it's really good for you to think about it. And in a SWOT analysis, what that is, you're reviewing the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats of an organization. Typically, it's going to be in a quadrant. So you'll have like with a cross in the middle. Upper left-hand corner are the strengths. Upper right-hand corner are the weaknesses. Lower left-hand corner is opportunities. Lower right-hand corner would be your threats. And the good thing about that then is that we're looking at it. It's all really logical. On the top line, we actually have internal factors. Those are things that we can really impact or we can actually control. Then on the bottom, we have external factors. And what do we mean by that? So strengths. We would discuss our strengths. We discuss our weaknesses this is, by the way, an internal document. You're not going to obviously you wouldn't share this with others or with your competitors, but you have your strengths and weaknesses, and then you have your opportunities. Well, oftentimes you'll find that once the weaknesses are identified, they flow down to the opportunities, because of the weaknesses. If we could flip them into a positive, they become an opportunity. And then we look at threats also. And again, these are all external. When I say threats to the business, we have to think through what could happen. Maybe a hurricane, a pandemic, a ransomware, all those different types of things that could occur. It's very important for the customer to think through those items and be prepared. Most organizations were not prepared for COVID and the pandemic and the world shutting down. And so it caught everyone by surprise. But going through a SWOT analysis, you would have at least thought about that, and you should have paid attention to it. And so, but the same type of thing here in Greensboro or in North Carolina, we have hurricanes that come through. We had a tornado that came through several years ago. So you have these items, and you have to be cognizant of them and take them into consideration as you are crafting your marketing plan. But the marketing process, it's all about, first of all, you want to understand the market. If I'm selling a new product, whatever it might be, I need to understand the marketplace. Who are the competitors out there? What are the price points? How are they selling? How are they selling? Is it all via stores? Is it all online? Is it a hybrid approach where they're using both? I don't know. Well, we have to figure that out. And then we have to understand what is our value? What's our value prop? The differentiated value that we're going to provide to the marketplace that is not offered by others. And that's going to cause individuals in that market segment to purchase our product regarding instead of some other ones. So, and then after that, we'll focus on the 4 Ps. As we understand the strategy, etc., then we'll actually take we'll consider what should the price of our product be? How are we going to promote our product? Place, how are we going to distribute our product, right? All of those different types of things for product, place, price, and promotion. And then we're also looking at the value. If I have a handbag that I'm creating, what's the value of my product versus another one? And it's really interesting. There is a handbag manufacturer by the name of Telfar, Telfar. If I had more time, I'd look it up for you. I'd Google it for you now. But Telfar is a gentleman that came up with these bags. They sell today for $250 to $600. And what's interesting about it, the value that they created and the way that they're marketing this, again, the value-driven marketing strategy and all that, is that his products are vegan leather. How amazing is that? Vegan leather products. And if you think about it, there are a lot of people, a lot of individuals within our society today, they want to be a vegan or a vegetarian. They would like us to have less cruelty to animals. And so this particular manufacturer crafted this product called, it's crafted a product made of vegan leather. What is vegan leather? What is it? Back in my day, when I was growing up, we called it pleather, some combination of plastic and leather, or to tell you the truth, it's really vinyl. But so he's taken a vinyl handbag and crafted it. And so now he's selling these vinyl handbags for $250 to $600, $700. And if you can think about it, his marketing or his manufacturing costs have got to be low, definitely much lower than using true animal hide. But that's the way that they actually created value. And then with marketing, and then also he was able to place the bag in the hands of a lot of different individuals, Taylor Swift and Beyonce and all that. As a result of that, a lot of people started looking for these bags. And he's also using other strategies such as they'll have limited drops. So they'll have, it will be broadcast widely that we have a new bag. It's going to drop on Thursday, 12 noon, and we'll have limited supply. Everyone rushes to the site. They try to get in, and the first 200 to 300 persons that sign in can get the bag. The remaining 500, 600,000 people that tried to get in couldn't, and that creates demand because people were upset that they couldn't get it. They want to ensure that they get it the next time. So it's worked out very well for that gentleman. The marketing process, these are things we talked about before. Situation analysis, right? We looked at the legal environment, regulatory environment, all those things, right? We have to understand also from a situational analysis, what are the customer's needs that are being unmet? What are they, right? And so you have to figure that out. And once you figure that out, you then craft your product so that it's draped in that and is draped in the in your analysis such that customers will want and need your product. You're going to conduct marketing research also. It's not really mentioned here. We'll probably mention it later, but there's two types of research. There's secondary research and primary research. Secondary research is free. It's available in the libraries. You can go online. You can find it at you can go to datainsights.gov and other places, and you can be able to find a lot of information that's out there that's free. And for instance, you can find demographic information. You can find, if you're looking at a demographic segment, you may want to take a look at how much money do they have? How much discretionary income do they have? Where are they spending their money today? All that money is available. I mean, all that information and data, all those data points are available to you, and they're free. Now, you also then you can utilize primary research. Primary research is you may want to call individuals and talk to a number of individuals to better understand from more of a myopic view what the customer's needs are. So we were able to go get the free secondary information first. We're going to look at that and make some assessments. And then once we then decide on our segment, we may want to exercise and utilize primary research methodologies so that we can better understand that market segment. Then we'll decide campaign development is how are you going to utilize the 4 Ps, the marketing mix. Then we have the execution. So we'll take a look at that, and then we're going to measure it. We're going to actually understand how well did we assume that we were going to perform? How well did we we line up with that assumption. Market research, gathering information, as I mentioned before. Remember, primary is second. Secondary research is what you will view first. It's free. Then you will then move toward primary research. And why would you if you're going to utilize primary research, why would you ever use secondary? Well, there's a lot of free information out there, so it's going to help you and guide you and point you in the right direction. And then what we're trying to do with all this research, we're trying to better understand what is an unmet customer need. What is it? Or maybe there's some competitors out there that have products that are lacking in functionality. Whatever it is, I'm looking for an area that I can exploit and I can take advantage of it and have massive sales. And so that's what we're trying to do. We're always finding a way that if I'm introducing a product, it's going to be a competitive advantage. I've got to have a competitive advantage. Telfar, again, place it in the hands of many movie stars. So when individuals saw the stars carrying that bag, they wanted the bag. And then also he's using vegan leather. A lot of people don't understand what that is, but essentially it actually harmonizes with the vegan lifestyle of a lot of individuals today. So we talked about some of the micro and macro forces before. Same thing here. We need to be cognizant of them. The micro forces, some of them, that's our competitors. We're going to view that because the people who are perhaps supplying us and suppliers, what are they? Let's say I'm manufacturing a bicycle. Suppliers would be, I probably go out. I'm not going to manufacture all the pieces myself. Probably some high-end bicycles probably do, but for the lower end, I'm not. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to enter into an agreement with someone who's going to manufacture the wheels, the tires, maybe the bumpers, the seats, and all those types of things. Those are my suppliers, and I need to have a great relationship with them so that they are providing me with the products I need and at the quality level that I've contracted with them. So these are just some of the internal. Remember the external forces. Look up PESTLE, PESTLE, and really, as I said, it's political, it's environmental, economic, it's taxation, a lot of things, legal. So it's all those different items that we must be cognizant of if we're going to have a successful launch. Internal and external analysis. I just talked to you about that. Internal analysis. What we're really doing is building the story. And I want you to think, if you look at this, one thing is missing. Okay, talking about where it began, how it reaches current state of operations, what this current present state is like, what plans for the future state have been made, all those types of things, right? But also, this isn't really talked about, but we talked about it in the first week, and that is why. It's very important that you do all the things that are here. You want to actually talk about these things, but you need to, in order to be successful or increase your probability of success, you really want to include your why of your meeting. And go back and look at the Simon Sinek video if you've forgotten that. But you should always be looking at the why. External, talked about that as well. So, and the micro, we mentioned what that is, macro, larger societal forces. Environmental scanning is very important. So we're going to identify trends by looking at the environment and really having a better understanding of, again, current changes in the environment. Let's say, as we mentioned before, maybe an individual is coming from China and wants to bring in that Han vehicle, and that Han vehicle is going to, today it sells for $20,000, or I think the very popular one is $30,000. But if you look at the vehicle, it is a strong contender. I mean, it's really, really nice, and U.S. automakers are really uneasy about this because they're going to come in, and if they're able to come in, they're going to really come in and put a lot of American workers out of business. And so that's one of the reasons why the president is contemplating placing a 100% tariff on the Chinese vehicles. Also, because the Chinese vehicles are really funded by the Chinese government. So that's another reason why they're just trying to make it safer, not safer, but more equitable for everyone that's involved. Demographic segmentation. We talked about that also. So let's say I've viewed that this particular product, whatever it might be, is best slated for individuals that are 20 to 40. And I want to influence those individuals. I need to better understand what are they looking for, what do they really like, where are they on social media, where are their eyeballs. I'm looking at all that for information. And also, this is very dynamic. So I must, after I craft my document, I must stay abreast of cultural shifts and changes in the society, right? So that because it offers opportunities for competitive advantage. Prior to the pandemic, by the way, I've worked for, out of my 40 years in corporate America, 25 of them have been working out of the home for me. I had a home office, which I'm working out of right now. But many others, and even when I talked to students prior to the pandemic, they said they would not want to work out of the house. They wanted to go into the office every day. But the pandemic pushed everyone home for 2 years. Now we're finding that there's a shift, a cultural shift, because a lot of people are saying, I really can do this from my home, and I'm more productive. I don't have to spend money on lunches. I don't have to, some locations, like up in Jersey and Los Angeles, New York, DC, it may take you an hour and a half or 2 hours to get to work and another 2 hours to come back. So that's 4 hours of your day potentially that you're losing and you're getting back. So again, cultural shifts, you have to remain cognizant of them, and remember that your document, which you're finished, it's not a complete finalized document, but it's one that it's organic and will be changing over time. So again, demography, you should know this. Take a look at that. And again, changes in the demographic environment can have major implications because these people that are purchasing our product, as the cultural shifts, demographic shifts are changing, et cetera, there's that's major. Today, you'll see also that we have an aging baby boomer population. And that means individuals that are over like 50 or 65 years of old, 50 to 55 years of age, they're all retiring. Well, what does that mean? It means that now you'll have more people pulling money out of the government for Social Security and other things. And also with those major implications, now we're finding that those individuals might be selling their homes and doing some other things. So there's cultural shifts that take place out of that, right? So we have the Gen A, Gen Z, we have the millennials, et cetera. Whatever your demographic that you're focused on, you need to know it, and you need to know it well. So some of the trends that we have, as I mentioned before, America the crowded. We find that most of the U.S. population, if you look at a map, is really around the coastal areas of America. You'll find that much of America, in like if you look at Wyoming and Montana, South Dakota, North Dakota, et cetera, there are not as many individuals there. But America the crowded, you'll find that maybe there's a way that you could market or make the people that are in these crowded locations feel better or feel more comfortable. Maybe it's a stress relief product, whatever it might be. There are products that you could utilize. We have the mighty mature market. I call it the aging baby boomer, right? You have all these individuals now retiring. That means that, maybe if you're on television, maybe there's an opportunity to have more law and order products like that on TV, and Judge Judy or whatever the older individuals might look at. But also another thing that's happening is that it's the browning of America, which is the third thing there. So you're finding that there is rising populations of Hispanics, Asians, Black, multi-race individuals. And you're going to find that with that influx of individuals, you're going to find that America's landscape is going to be shifting somewhat as well. So these are some of the things you need to focus on. So, and then three major forces affecting work among today's workers. Demand for participation. People like to sign on to Twitter or X if you had a great experience or a poor experience, right? You're going to put it out there. You like to be able to share your meal with maybe a picture of it, what it looks like, and share it with others. There's anxiety about globalization, as we said before, the global paradox. So now, as more people in different parts of the world can see what's going on, if you are in a third world country and you see people in the United States driving around in, with Lexus or Tesla, another vehicle, Mercedes-Benz, et cetera, there's going to be anxiety about that because they don't have it, they want it, and so that could be an issue. And there's also an increasingly creative society. When I was this time last year, I was in London. My wife wanted to go see Beyonce. I took her to see Beyonce in London at Tottenham Stadium. But while we were there, we went to the Nike store, and at Nike they had shoes and bags and things of that sort, but you could customize it. So if you wanted different color shoe or different color bag or whatever, they had the resources there in the store to provide the customization that the customer needed. And my wife was happy, and the company was happy as well because it's increased sales, increased customers, and that's a way also for them to capture those capture and retain customers. So we also have things such as technology and the ecology as well. New technology has been really the boon for America. It's been the boon because we've been able to utilize robots, technology, et cetera, and increase our efficiency and our effectiveness. As a result of that, you'll find that America is still still one of the leading nations in the world today because of our use of technology. Sometimes, though, there could be a cost in manufacturing chips and manufacturing other items. There may be increased pollution, and so we need to deal with that. Or maybe we're depleting some of the renewable resources. Oil, there's a finite amount of oil in America, right? And so maybe climate change, if you believe it or not. So some believe that with climate change, that the world is growing warmer every year, and that our oceans are growing warmer, and that's going to have an impact on our society. We have to be aware of those things. So sometimes marketers will use a cross-channel approach, which means they will actually have creative customer experiences that engages with the customer across the digital, maybe broadcast and physical experiences. So maybe we're seeing now that with the 3D glasses and things of that sort. Now, so therefore, I can actually perhaps look something up on a computer and maybe broadcast it easily, but it's a much easier and much more friendly customer experience. And then we also need to just utilize the media that we used in the past and be able to convert it and utilize it with up and coming types of technology. Do not be scared of technology, embrace it. And then we're just using these marketing insights to tailor product development. Customers are telling us they want things smaller and faster and less expensive, et cetera. And so I need to be able to respond to that, and we'll do that as well. External forces, right? We talked about economics, what the impact that can have. Take a look at this, economics in the 30 years between 1975 and 2005. If you looked at it like from a relative standpoint, the income for most individuals in the United States fell. That's a problem, especially with the inflation that we've recently experienced. But however, if for the top 20% of households, we found that there was an increase of national income and of household income. And the largest increase was in the highest 5% of the population. I remember during the pandemic, the top 20 people in the United States, from a revenue standpoint, their wealth grew by over $1.5 trillion, whereas a lot of other people were out of work or laid off or whatever it might be. So we just have to be cognizant of the different changes that are occurring in our landscape. Political, again, laws, whatever it might be, read through these. So a lot of different impacts, a lot of different ways that we're being changed, that our society is being changed. We have to be cognizant of it and be able to review it on an ongoing basis and determine also how can we also take advantage of this. So that's it. That's what I have for you today. Thanks a lot.